It's what he practiced. It's what he practiced as he went about teaching and healing. The second thing I want to say about Jesus, the first was that for him, being open to God was everything. Jesus, secondly, embraced human limitation. Why? Because hunger, poverty, struggle, need of any sort is blessed if it opens us up to God. God is always there, and especially when we know ourselves as human beings, God is there to come to us, to invite us, to give God's self to us. So Jesus wants to touch into the holy longing that is at the heart of our lives, and so to let ourselves be open to the God who comes, ever comes. Larry?
What I would like to share today is basically in Psalm 107. It's a very long psalm, so I don't expect you to look at it this morning. This God who comes, ever comes. How does God come to us? And what I'm offering is the five senses, our five senses, I will refer to as the gates of gratitude, of receptivity to this God who comes. This God comes to us according to us. And what is it to be according to us? Through our senses, which then move to our intellects, our minds, to our emotions, to our wills. But first it's the senses. So the Psalm 107 is, it is good to give thanks to God for all his marvels. Basically, it's the marvels of being released from Egypt for the Jewish people. So we're into Thanksgiving for our senses. And I'm going to ask you during your little time of reflection, and maybe for moving towards Thanksgiving, to be grateful for having five senses. I was imagining, how grateful are you for your dentist when you come with a toothache and he or she fixes you and you say thank you to her or him and you leave? How grateful is that sense of gratitude? How long does it last? Not real long, actually. Gratitude is fleeting. You cannot be grateful as an emotion for a very long time. You would be grateful for the dentist, and now your tooth is good, but on the way out the door, you bump your head or stub your toe. And gratitude leaves you because something else has replaced it. Now, let's take the sense of tasting. It's very interesting to me that the taste buds are very limited to the front of your tongue. And I have marveled is, why don't your taste buds go to the back of your tongue and down your throat? And you could taste it for a long time, because taste quickly becomes a memory. And you say, oh, that was really good. But you really can't taste it again. You remember the taste, maybe. Or smelling, you smell the beautiful of a rose and you pass on and you remember, but you don't keep smelling the rose. Gratitude is fleeting. So that this God who comes, ever comes, comes to us through our senses. And this Jesus who comes to us according to our senses, and Ignatius, of course, as you all know in the exercises, emphasizes being present to the experiences of Jesus and his disciples and others in as much as you can with all your senses, with your eyes and your ears, and try to be there. Why? Because it's a way of letting this God who comes, ever comes, letting this God come. But it's going to be temporary. We can't hold on to it, just like you can't hold on to a taste or a smell of a rose. But one way to pray with our senses is to be grateful for them, and that they are very little gates. And it's interesting, for instance, a gate, a door. You knock on the door and it's locked, and somebody opens it and you say, thank you. How grateful are you for the door and the one who opens it? Not until you get inside and close the door and get onto something else. We always want more. That's the senses are set up so that, oh, that's good. Can I have another? Or I didn't really taste all of it. I ate it too fast. I ran past the other roses. Yes, but this God who says, yes, you ran past that rose, but there will be others. So I can be regretful that I didn't taste that or see it or hear it, but there'll be others. So you can live in regret for it wasn't enough, I wasn't present enough. This God who comes, ever comes, every moment of every day, he comes, ever comes, to be available to that God through our senses. Okay, so what I'd like you to pray with, reflect on these little 5 minutes, if you can, to whatever sense you can, if you can look out a window, or if you can touch silk or velvet, something, enjoy one of your senses gratefully, knowing that it's not going to last. That's the way. So as soon as it's over, then God is saying, I'll come to you through another sense. So it's about being sensitive to the oncoming love. As Greg says, this God is love generating generosity. This God never gives up on inviting us limitedly. And we'll pray with that the next time. But be grateful as much as you can for one of the ways this God who comes, ever comes, is coming to you. Maybe have a cup of tea or a cookie, or look out the window, or listen to anything. You have 5 senses that are gates of gratitude.
That sounds great. Thank you. Father Carlson and Father Gillick, are you ready for our silent reflection time? I think great. So it's 10:20. You can hear my dog barking in the background. What do you want people back at 10:25 or 10:30?
And you call them back when you want.
That sounds great. Well, I think let's take just about 10 minutes. So we'll call everyone back at 10:30. How does that sound?
Good to me.
Great. You gave us a lot to think about and a lot to reflect on. Okay, everyone. So you can turn your camera off or you can leave it on, and we'll all meet back here at 10:30.
10:30.
John Kellogg,
Hello?
Okay, I think it's just about time to start up again. We're just 1 minute shy, but it looks like people have started rejoining us. So Father Gillick and Father Carlson, would you like to move on to the next segment, or would you like to let people share some of their thoughts for the next few minutes?
And it's your call.
All right, well, I think we might try something that we tried with Father Andy Alexander. He taught me this trick so that almost everyone could share, since we are on a limited time. So if everyone knows where the chat box is, there should be like a chat thing down at the bottom. And if you would like, you can type in the chat box some of your reflections or something that you learned or thought of. So maybe we'll just take the next couple minutes and let folks who want to share on the chat box share. Or if you'd rather, you can kind of raise your hand and you can share verbally too. So I'll send so we have on the chat box, it says the joy of seeing my sister's face in a Zoom box. That's what someone is grateful for. I talked about reflecting on the sunshine. Being grateful in the moment. Cynthia said she appreciated learning to focus on one of your senses to immerse yourself in the feeling of being grateful. To think about the 5 senses and how many things we're grateful for. Memories help us to connect with God and others. Grateful for the fall, the beautiful colors. I agree with that. The smells of fall, leaves, bonfires, pumpkins, fresh coffee, baking, watching the leaves fall, the senses being gates of gratitude. Our dogs that bring us joy and love. Someone mentioned their breakfast being really good and that now they've nearly forgotten how good it was. That suffering is a blessing because it can open us to God. Well, there's a gardener, someone being grateful for their plants that are still alive. Grateful for family, smelling coffee. The weather that we get to enjoy. Oh, that in Arizona. The fall, hearing the leaves, the crunching of leaves. Someone's going to appreciate the taste of their tea. The cool air. The taste of chocolate. I agree with that too. I ate a chocolate cupcake for breakfast, so, and I definitely remember the taste, although it is fleeting. The sense of touch, the softness of fur, the taste of hot chocolate. Being thankful for the quiet. That's great. Hearing the voice of Father Larry. That each sense enriches another sense. Grateful for our memories. The gift of music. someone was playing guitar. Softness, warmth, color, sound. Thank you. The memories stay. We see what God is showing us, watching the birds. Teachers commenting on how the birds are getting ready to fly south, taking a break from chores. Oh, someone saw a fox. Wow. I really enjoy this because I know we're all from different places, and I'm currently in Florida, and I'm thinking I love the sunshine, and I love hearing people talk about the leaves and the cool air and hearing aids. Science is a blessing. Yeah, this is really great. Okay, I think we can start to move on. Thank you everyone for sharing. When I share this recording, there's a way I can share this chat too. I just have to remember how to do it so we can look back and reflect on the things we're grateful for. Oh, we have a dentist. That's wonderful. Thank you. Okay, Father Gillick and Father Carlson, I will mute myself again, and I'll let you move on with your next portion.
Thank you. And it's really quite thrilling to hear the varied responses from you all. Thank you for giving yourself so much to this experience. In this portion, I'm going to be talking about the Our Father, about our students, and about my experience of gratitude. The Our Father, I think, reminds us of what Larry was saying, that gratitude invites re-engaging, that our gratitude goes day by day and experience by experience. Okay. So as I pray the Our Father, give us this day our daily bread, that has come to have a second meaning for me. The first meaning, at least as I take it, is give us what we need today. Don't have us too overly concerned about securing our future, but help us, give us what we need today: food, air, sustenance, community, interaction. That's a first meaning. The second meaning for me has come to be this: God, help me see and receive today's events as gifts. Let them be gifts, the things I experience today. Things that are surprising, like the many things in the chat list. For me, the surprising change of colors in the trees right outside our house. Help me to see as gift the interrupting events of the day, like those who need help. Help me to see as gifts the routine things of today, like a decent or even good meal. Help me to receive the challenging gifts of today. For me, it's easy to think of the challenging limitations of growing older. Can I receive and see those as gifts? So gratitude invites renewing, and praying the Our Father can be a way to say, not only give us what we need today, but help us to receive it as a gift. That's why I think of our students. One of the great joys of teaching at a place like Creighton is watching the transformation of students. They come to us frequently with a strong sense that our culture tends to deliver of entitlement, as though the world owes them all that they have and that they have earned it by their hard work. I watch students over their years here discard that sense of entitlement and take on an attitude more of gratitude. that they have received rich gifts in life and are eager to share them, to pour them out in service to others, to engage them in the community. They come with a much less, they come out of Creighton with a much less self-centered view of the gifts that they have received, because they have come to see them as gifts and are looking at life in terms of receptivity and gratitude. Their feelings, I think, are well expressed in this poem, also from Rabindranath Tagore. By the way, his last name is Tagore, Tagore. One of you was asking about him. Tagore is a non-Christian poet of India in the early 20th century. Here's an excerpt from one of the poems we read with our students, addressed to God. Day by day, you are making me worthy of the simple, great gifts that you gave to me unasked. The sky and the light, this body and the life and the mind. The very sorts of gifts that Larry was talking about that we receive through the portals of gratitude, our senses. About me, I want to speak about gratitude in my life. I have lived, I believe, in my life based on fear. At other times, I have lived my life based on duty, and I have lived my life based on purpose. Fear, I think many of us know from a Catholic childhood, where we viewed life partially or largely in terms of a fear of having to go to hell. Duty, we were responsible young people, and life seemed to be most about fulfilling our obligations. Purpose, as an adult, it can be so attractive to try to accomplish something. I try to live my life now not from fear or duty or purpose, but from gratitude. And that has had a wonderfully gentling, integrating effect on all of the energies of my life. It reminds me of Hopkins' poem, where he talks about the just person in God's eyes, that this person keeps grace that keeps all his goings graces. When I'm living out of gratitude, I can be gentle, I can be hopeful. Gratitude has been the springboard in my life for sharing the gifts that I receive as gifts, for service in putting them at the disposal of others, for community in giving my gifts to others. So gratitude has been for me a wonderfully humanizing, integrating way to look at my life. One last thing, I'm grateful as I grow older for the me that God keeps creating and growing. Even though now at a more advanced age, that growing includes plenty of giving away. I take it that aging has as some of its grace, giving away the things that I have enjoyed during life. Gratitude helps me to part with those things gently, happily, in a good spirit. So those are some thoughts I have on receptivity and gratitude for me. Lair, can you pick it up from there?
I will try to pick up the pieces, yes. One of the, going along with daily bread, what is daily bread? whatever we receive, as I indicated a little bit, we will want more. So that one of the gifts, this is a funny thing to be grateful for, totally countercultural. One of the gifts God gives us is longing or empty or just not quite. I love people's use of adverbs. I asked somebody yesterday, a student, how was that? And she said, pretty good. I said, why wasn't it really good? Well, and she couldn't explain, but she knew that it wasn't as fulfilling as she, and here's the key word, expected. That expected that we use for respect, inspect, prospect. Expect, that spect is the Latin word for looking toward, looking out, spectacle, spectator. What are you looking for? I'm looking for all of it, always all of it. And so there is a grace in this experience of gratitude to be grateful that I don't have it all. I can't have it all. Because, and this is the gift from God, that God gives us emptiness or longing, I would make a God out of it. And God will never give us a gift, a part of daily bread, that will make God obsolete. Within everything, then, is the embedded invitation to keep looking, keep listening, keep opening to the more, and not be concentrated with the pretty, kind of, fairly, they're diminishing adverbs. What I'm really disappointed in is I wanted it to be complete. I wanted completion. I wanted daily bread to be everything. So every gift has within it the invitation to be grateful for what it is and what it can't be. And that's the hard part. The relationship, the blue sky is going to have clouds. It's not going to stay forever blue and sunny. The beautiful to see a fox walking across the backyard lawn, but the fox disappeared. And the beautiful leaves of the trees on campus with a tremendous windstorm we had this week, gone. Now, the option is, can I be disappointed? I think everything is appointed to have its invitation, to go beyond it, to receive what it is, to receive it, not squeeze it, but reverencingly hold it and cherish it as, and this is the final thing I'll say, the final thing is to be grateful for what it is and what it can't be. My spouse, my children, my grandparents, my parents, my house, whatever, to be grateful that it invites me to the giver, not just to the gift. One thing, every gift, doing the 5 senses of gratitude, 5 gates, God is saying, is praying over us. The daily bread is God's prayer over us that we experience through our senses. And so let these thank the Lord for the Lord's love, for his marvels are on behalf of all. Let them offer thanksgiving sacrifices and proclaim with shouts of joy, not just what he has done, but what he is doing as he prays over us through our senses every moment.
Thank you for that. We can move into our last bit of quiet reflection. Father Carlson or Father Gillick, anything you want to add before I let folks go reflect? Okay, Father, no, I see 2 head shakes. Great. So it's about 10:50 Central Time. So why don't we come back just before 11 a.m. and then we'll do we can do a chat share again, and then we'll do our final prayer and we'll say our farewells. So just under 10 minutes again. So just be back before 11 a.m. and then we'll gather all together then. Again, you can turn your camera off if you'd like. Keep yourself muted, and then we'll see you all in a few minutes.
Out of gratitude. One grace of peace. Gratitude.
The day now, but it's not mandated. It's not required anywhere. It's just an option. Somebody was thankful for hearing aids.
Iris, I sent you a text with info on the funeral, December 3rd, which is great because I'll be back at 4 p.m. at St. Leo's. And Pat's friend is going to do.
Okay, we're almost at the 11 a.m. mark. You can share in the chat box again. Someone already shared, and then I put mine in there to get a head start. Someone said hello from Scotland. That's exciting. Welcome. Someone talked about being grateful for the chain of events that has occurred in their life, and prayers being answered. And then I wrote being appreciative of the beauty of what's around me, but that it's not, the gift is not the end, that it leads us to the giver. Someone mentioned Father Carlson, who said the me that keeps growing is something to be grateful for, and to keep being open, which is part of growing in God's creation. Another point to the sentiment of the giver and not just the gift. Oh, wow. I am not keeping up with all these. Thankful for Father Gillick and Father Carlson. Looking at the daily interruptions as gifts. That God has given us this day, our daily bread, for the gifts that we need this day, that all these things are temporary. Grateful for the quiet moments. Thankful that God nudged us into being here today. All the dimensions of gratitude and the complications and complexity of that. Again, the idea of focusing on the giver, being grateful for challenging things, that our gifts bring us closer to God. Grateful for the longing, wanting more. Someone said to think that in everything there is an invitation to go beyond. I really like that. Grateful for Father Gillick and Father Carlson. To be grateful for life as it is now. Gratitude in everything.
Oops. Oh, no, no, rats. I made a mistake.
It's really great. Yes, you can, folks can keep sharing if they'd like. You can read, everyone can read the chat box. Oh, thank you. That every gift invites us to the giver. Absolutely. So if you still have more you want to share, you can feel free to keep typing as we kind of move forward into our closing segment. Grateful for our job. I'm being distracted by all this wonderful sharing. Okay, so I'll mute myself again, and then I'll turn it back over to Father Gillick and Father Carlson for our closing prayer before we say our goodbyes.
Thank you. First of all, to Mary Ellen Smyo, who is trying to summarize what she understood Father Gillick to say. Mary Ellen, I've been trying to do that for about 40 years. And anyway, I wish you a lot of luck in summarizing what Father Gillick said. Speaking of which, Larry, before I read the poem again that I started with, and then invite you with me to raise a hand in blessing over these people, is there something you'd like to say, Larry?
No, it is so inspiring to hear people share those things for which they are grateful, even though it is so natural to, can I have more, please? And trust God that there will be more. That's a great part of Thanksgiving Day and the celebration. That we always want more, and that's a gift. That's the hard gift, to keep our hands open. So I heard that all, and people saying, I'm grateful, but I hope there's more coming, which is so natural and healthy.
I am grateful for all of you for taking time this morning. It's really encouraging and inspiring to see you all, even though you are on very little rectangles on my screen. It's a delight to be with you and to see you. So again, from Tagore, have you not heard his silent steps? He comes, ever comes. Every moment and every age, every day and every night, he comes, ever comes. Many a song have I sung in many a mood of mind, but all their notes have always proclaimed, he comes, ever comes. In the fragrant days of sunny April through the forest path, he comes, ever comes. In the rainy gloom of July nights on the thundering chariot of clouds, he comes, ever comes. In sorrow after sorrow, it is his steps that press upon my heart, and it is the golden touch of his feet that makes my joy to shine. Blair, will you join me in raising a hand of blessing over these people? May Almighty God continue to bless you, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you so much. Yes, I'm seeing on the chat box, everyone saying thank you. I really appreciate you being with us today. I feel like we are so spoiled in Omaha. We have such great resources. And I just appreciate you choosing to spend your Saturday morning with us and giving us so many wonderful things to reflect on, especially in these coming seasons of Thanksgiving and Christmas and gifts and giving. And I think this really was an enriching experience. So thank you so much to Father Gillick and Father Carlson. We really appreciate you being here. And think we're all extending so much love and gratitude to you. I know that some people are asking about a recording. It is recording. It got started a little bit late, but I started it about 10 minutes in, but I will be sending out this recording sometime in the following week, and then we'll convert it into a YouTube so you can watch it on YouTube as well. So just look for that sometime this week. And I want to thank all of you for joining us this morning. I encourage you, if you haven't already, take a look at the chats that are coming up. I'm only seeing like bits and pieces of them as I'm talking, but I encourage you to read what people are saying, what people have shared. There's some really rich thoughts in there. And I just want to thank all of you for being here this morning and for supporting IVC and for just joining us in community and faith and a really lovely Saturday morning. So everyone has my email address. If you have any questions, you can reach me. If you want to know anything about IVC, you can reach me there, and I'll be sending you a follow-up email as well. And then look for the recording later this week. And that is all I have for today. Father Gillick and Father Carlson, anything else? They're just giving the wave. He gives the wave. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Please enjoy the rest of your Saturday. And hopefully this all stays with you in the next coming months and for many, many months on. And hopefully we'll do this again next year. So maybe we'll all see each other again in a year. Thank you.
Glad I got in late.
Better
Thank
late than never.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Nice job, Ann. Great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Ann.
Thank you. I'll see you in about a month.
Okay, thank you, Ann.
Thank